Welcome to HCS Talks. I'm your host, Superintendent Raymond Haynes. This is our Hampton City Schools podcast that we just started at the beginning of this school year. If it is important to students, parents, teachers, the community, or anything that has to do with education, we hope to cover it on HCS Talks. The goal is to inform, educate, and even entertain you. Today, I have the wonderful opportunity to talk with two of our Hampton City Schools high school students, Sophia Harris and Jonathan Jackson. So thank you, Sophia and Jonathan, for joining me today. Why don't you tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself? Sophia, would you like to go first?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Sophia. I'm 16, and I am a junior at Kecoughtan High School, and I'm a very proud member of the Performing Arts Academy.
Kecoughtan High School, the home where everyday greatness is
the expectation. Absolutely.
So are you originally from Hampton? Were you born and raised in Hampton? Or?
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but we moved here when I was 2. And my mom also used to work with Hampton City Schools, so I am no stranger to the academies.
Ma'am. Do you have any siblings? Or?
I have an older brother who also graduated from Kecoughtan.
What academy was he in?
Ooh. See, and that was during COVID, so I was not paying attention, but I believe something to do with environmental things.
Okay. He probably was in the Academy of Architecture, Environment, and Engineering.
Something like that, yes. Absolutely.
Because I think my daughter knows your brother as well. They were probably in the same academy back then. How about you, Jonathan?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Jackson. I'm 17 years old, a proud student at Bethel High School, the home of academic excellence. I'm a senior, hoping to attend Hampton University, hopefully my home by the sea. So, I'm from here. Family's originally from Savannah, Georgia. I have a lot of family down there. But, I've been in Hampton City Schools all my life. So,
do you have siblings as well, Jonathan?
Yes, I have one older sister. Love her so much. She's 19.
Did she attend Bethel as well?
She didn't. She actually attended Kecoughtan. She was a part of the Performing Arts Academy. Loved it. Spent her whole time there. So she was really in love with that program.
So what have you enjoyed most about your academy so far? What academy are you in?
I'm in the Academy of Media Arts and Design.
Okay,
so
what have you enjoyed most about it?
For me, I think just a lot of the hands-on things that we've been able to do, especially within the past 2 years. We've had the opportunity to do a lot more projects, do a lot more internal, just things that we had within the classroom, and just being able to branch out and not only stay within our classroom, but go around our school. And right now we're actually doing a project with the Hampton Fire Department where we're going to be creating a new logo for them. So things like that, just small things that might seem, insignificant during class time because, you're just thinking for the grade or for the assignment. But when you sit down and really think about it, you're making different impacts through your academy.
You're truly making an impact in the community. This is not just something that you're going to do for the sake of the class, but it's something the fire department will adopt as their official logo.
Right.
That's pretty powerful. How about you, Sophia?
I have to say, and this is going to sound like a total nerd answer, but I really love being in my academy class and absorbing all of the information. Because of course, a lot of people think about an acting class and what could you possibly be learning? Oh, you get up on stage, you play some games, right? But there's so much more to that, especially when you get to acting too, when you get to the technical theater aspects of it. It's absolutely amazing to figure out script analysis, how to build sets, costume design, a bunch of very interesting stuff. And I think probably my favorite part of taking academy work is going from my academy class and actually putting it forth onto the stage. Because if you ask anyone who knows me, I am a very proud performer and I love to sing, dance, act, all of it on stage. So taking that from the classroom and adopting it into your own principles on stage, it's amazing to see.
You actually explained that very nicely. You talked about script analysis and costume design. That speaks a lot to the industry behind performing arts in that academy as a whole. Like you mentioned, Sophia, oftentimes people think it's just acting and getting up on stage and doing some type of theatrical performance. But you look at all the things that you can do in that industry as a whole, and you just spoke about those specifics as well. So, do you have a particular interest? What particular interest do you have with performing arts? I guess maybe after high school. Are you interested in pursuing more of it after high school? And if so, what?
I am definitely interested in pursuing this after high school, already looking at colleges to try and figure out who would have the best performing arts programs for me. But I am definitely very interested in going into like film and trying to make it big in Hollywood, get my star on the Walk of Fame. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you're well on your way. Are you interested in the acting component or producing or writing or what components of it?
I think acting for the most part, maybe some writing later down the road, but absolutely acting. Again, like I said, I love to perform, so I would love to showcase that to the world.
Excellent. How about you, Jonathan? What are you looking to do after high school? Are you looking to stick with the media arts and design, or what are you looking to pursue?
Right. So after high school, like I said, I want to go to college, go along that film and media route, and it really all falls under communications. So go that communications route with hopes to own my own media company. I have a really long-lasting dream of being able to give back to communities. When you think about it, there's talent everywhere. You can find somebody with a good mind or a good soul or a good heart anywhere, but a lot of people don't go to the different places. You look at big cities, big places, but you're only getting a portion of what you can get. So I want to use my media company to shed light on those people who might not have the voice that others have.
That's pretty insightful, young man. You're going to do some great things.
Yes, sir.
Media Arts and Design, Performing Arts Academy, have you all done some things together, even though one is at Bethel, one is at Kickinton? Have you had some opportunities to work together in any way, shape, or form?
I don't know directly, but I do know about an opportunity within the Hampton City Schools. They just did a short film and writing component thing. And so we had our Virginia Film Festival recently. So I don't know if the performing arts students worked with the Media Arts and Design Academy students per se, like academy to academy, but I definitely know those two groups had interactions because I have friends from the different schools who interacted with each other.
Nice. Sophia, you were a part of that.
I
right?
was.
Tell the listening audience about your experience with that.
So I had the opportunity to work on the film Click, which was Kickinton's film from the Bringing Hollywood to Hampton program, or Next Generation Storytellers, my apologies. And we did interact with some of the other students when it came to the film festival trip. So we did get to understand everyone's experience of what was going on with arts in their schools. So I met some people from Phoebus, I met some people from Hampton, I met some people from Bethel. I'm not totally sure what everyone's academies were, but it was very interesting to hear how everyone's experience with the program was different based on the resources that they were given. Because, of course, Kickinton does have the Performing Arts Academy, so we're already kind of like trying to adapt from stage acting to film acting versus some of these other kids that aren't in the Performing Arts Academy, and it's a completely different experience for everyone. So it was a nice jumble of experiences.
Everyone goes into this at different phases, but to see it all come together was nothing short of remarkable, and see all the young people and your talents put forth on stage and working with Trent Garrett and Jacob Young and being a part of the Charlottesville experience. So tell us what happened during that time as well, Sophia.
So when we went up to Charlottesville, we got the opportunity to see some like very professionally done films. Not to say that ours weren't professional, but like animated films and things like that. So it was interesting to see things on a different level. And then on the final day of the trip, we actually got to see our own films in a theater, which was absolutely incredible because you never think that you're going to get to see your name on a screen like that. And to see that happen in real life was absolutely fascinating. And then to be stopped on the street by people who were watching those films to be like, hey, you guys were in that film, weren't you?
Wow.
It was
wow. So you're looking at these experiences in the academies and just at your respective high schools alone. it looks like we're bringing more relevance to your learning and things that you're actually interested in. So going into Hampton University and then whatever college or university you're aspiring to attend once you do a little bit more research around performing arts piece, do you feel as though you're going to go in at somewhat of an advantage based on your experiences in Hampton? And if so, why?
Absolutely. Personally, I've talked to. I had an opportunity to go to Radford and over the summer, and we talked about just different things in our readiness for college. And one thing I was definitely adamant about was, my school experience. As much as sometimes people might complain about it, as much as sometimes people might talk about it, like we get prepared for what we want to do. And I know. While I might not be the most advanced person, I'm not a college professor, but I know that I'll be able to go in and have that experience under my belt to say, okay, I've done this, I've done this. So it'll help definitely make my experience a little bit easier. And I have to definitely credit Hampton City Schools and the Academy at Hampton for that.
That is an excellent thing to say, Jonathan. You make me proud, sir. Are there any other opportunities that you have been a part of, maybe this year or last year, that you want to share with the listening audience?
I'll go ahead and expound upon the Radford thing. Like I said, thankful for the Virginia Department of Education and specifically Hampton City Schools for informing me about the opportunity to go to summer residential governor school, which my component for humanities was at Radford. Like I said, it was fully paid for, and it just gave me an opportunity to go and learn and give me the experience that a lot of people don't have. When you think about college, for a lot of people, it's that new experience that you may not have had except for like 4 years ago. And so you're sitting down and you're thinking like, oh, I'm not ready for this. Meanwhile, I know while it might have been a little modified version, it's still college, and I know how to move. I know how to get around a campus. I know what to look for, what not to look for. And it helped me even the college choosing process easier. So like I said, thankful for that opportunity. And then now, as a photographer at my school, doing different things like that, just exposing me to things that I'm already doing in my academy while also making it personal for me. I've gotten the opportunity to meet so many different people, meet different athletes, hear their stories, hear what they want to do, see what they want to do, and watch them perform, in a way that I'm not just a fan, I'm actually a part of it, and I'm showing them, the art side and the beauty side of the sports that they play. So
just totally immersed in it from all aspects. That's a beautiful thing. So I guess you would be a part of the newsletter, and what do they call it? The Bruin
News.
News. So do you all have announcements on video, morning announcements, or is it just still through the intercom?
We have through the intercom, but we also have on our school's website, we have, like I said, our Bruin News. We get our journalism students specifically to do that. And then another component we have is our yearbook club. So I know I've been able to share pictures with them and some of the stuff that I've worked on with them to just be able to enhance what we already have. Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Sophia?
As far as like doing experiences with the school,
either this year or last year, anything else you want to share? You shared a lot, I know, with the short, with the film festival and what have you.
The short film was a very big chunk of that, and that was over the summer as well. So got to spend more of my time at school, which I don't mind at all.
So in Click, what did you play? What actor did you play, and what was your role, I guess?
My role was Quinn. I was a supporting actress in that part, and it was interesting to be able to step off of camera. As fun as it is being a lead sometimes, it is fun being able to take a step back and look at what's happening behind the scenes. And, hey, look, that camera's showing this angle and that one's showing something completely different. It sounds overrated, but it's actually incredible to watch what happens behind the scenes.
And it helps you to get a full understanding when you actually are on stage or you're acting, all the work it takes to get you to that point. So it's like a full circle experience for you. Are you, either of you, involved in any other extracurricular activities?
I definitely am. I don't do as much as I used to anymore, but I am part of Kickatan's swim team and the drama club. And I am currently in a one-act production for Kickatan. We're going to take it to a competition January 27th.
So what is the one act? What is that about?
So the one act is called Attack of the Killer Man from the Sun. Super big mouthful, but it is a comedy.
Attack of the Killer Man from the Sun.
Yeah.
See, I remembered that.
It took me a few weeks. But I get to play this like narrator character, and it's very fun to just describe what's going on the stage. It's a comedy, so like there's just a bunch of like craziness going around, and it's the best to do.
So you're looking to do what with that? What'd you say?
We are competing with it in VHSL, which is a one-act competition amongst a lot of Virginia schools.
So schools throughout the state of Virginia. So it's
Yes.
not in a particular region. So what happens in the end if you win? What does that entail?
See, this is my first year going, so I
Okay.
don't have a huge understanding, but there are some awards that get distributed, and that is some great street cred in the
Yes.
theater world.
Great street cred, great bragging rights for Kickatan,
Yes.
and great bragging rights for Hampton City Schools. too.
Absolutely.
So you're on the swim team. How long have you been on the swim team?
I've been on the swim team since freshman year.
Freshman year. So how do you like the aquaplex?
The Aquaplex is definitely fun. It is just a pool, though, and I know people very much expect me to talk like big guns about it, but when you're a swimmer, as long as the water's clean, you're good to go.
Good to go. Yes, ma'am. How about you, Jonathan? Any other extracurricular activities you want to talk about at this point?
The only one that I know that I have failed to mention is being a student rep. Talking about that, man, it was an opportunity, and I've been so glad to be given this opportunity to be able to sit on the school board. You don't hear about this stuff anywhere.
Right.
You know, you're 17 years old sitting with your school board, your district school board. Like, who does that? Like, so, like I
Us
said,
now.
exactly.
Two of you.
Yeah,
I
it's
was trying to pull that out of you. I'm glad you mentioned it. I was going to have to say it on my own. So for the listening audience, Jonathan and Sophia are both student representatives to the school board this school year, and we're very fortunate to have them serve in that capacity and be able to share and shed insight from the student perspective, along with the board members and your superintendent as well.
right.
So how's that going for you so far? How's that experience thus far?
I can definitely say people know about it. I think it doesn't give any added pressures per se to me personally, but I definitely feel the responsibility of being able to talk to my students around me, just listening to things that you see and hear. And I know mentally, every time I talk to my friends or even people who aren't my friends, I just try to compile little notes to be like, okay, what can I bring to this meeting to advocate for the people who are around me, and even for the people who aren't always around me. Like I said, what can I do for them? Because I believe that this position is a selfless position. It's not about you. It's about what you can do for the people around you. So, like I said, just listening to them and doing my best to help make their school experiences and future school experiences for all children across Hampton a better
Very
one.
nicely stated. Two of you make me so proud. Sophia, how about your experience thus far in serving as a student rep to the board?
I've unfortunately only been able to go to one meeting, which sucks because I've been very much looking forward to contributing and trying to be the best rep that I can. But there is a bit of added pressure, at least at Kickatan, because getting stopped in the hall after your first meeting and being like, hey, you're a representative now. Congratulations. And you're like, oh, wow. And I don't know if some of the other schools did this, but I know that every senior takes a government class, and a lot of kids at school now are be like, hey, I looked up your picture on the Hampton City Schools website. Like, we're doing a project on the school board. Hey, I saw you up there. And it's like, oh, thank you.
Your fame continues to grow as an actor in Performing Arts Academy, and now as a student rep to the board. So you will continue to increase your popularity, not just at Kickatan, but in our community as well. But we certainly do appreciate you all serving in that capacity and actually taking it seriously. I know Jonathan mentioned it's a very selfless thing to do because you're representing the student body and the student voice, and we take your roles very seriously and want to hear your insight and your perspective at all costs. So, Jonathan, what have you enjoyed so far in your senior year? What have you enjoyed the most so far in your senior
Man, I think being a part of the senior committee and just being a senior, you think when you're little, man, I can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait to get out of here. And then you're finally there, and it's like, wow. You start to feel every day. It's not even a month pass by. You feel every day that you're a senior, but it's so fun. I think just hearing about my friends' successes and hearing and seeing my own personal successes and my growth from each year to year to year, and even just the small things like you pull out your student IDs and you're looking at your pictures and you're like, wow, I would look like this and look like this. I think that's been the most enjoyable piece, just like just living through it. And it's bittersweet because you're realizing that some of the people that you really hold close, you might not see maybe ever again, honestly, but just so holding on to every moment that you have and cherishing everything, even the good and the bad, and just realizing that, hey, like this is all a part of the experience and this is all a part of
those moments? That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And then recognizing how fast time flies as well, because you probably can recall when you were a freshman walking down those halls.
I didn't even get the freshman experience, so realistically, sophomore year, like I said, I still remember. I remember all my sophomore classes. I remember all my junior classes. I remember what I wore the first day of sophomore year, and it's like, wow, I'm a senior.
Impressive. So, Sophia, what are you looking forward to as a rising senior?
I think, this is a complicated question because my heart, I'm definitely very much looking forward to prom. That is like the high school experience I've always looked forward to since I was in like pre-K. But I am actually very much looking forward to walking across the stage, and not to rush my high school experience or anything, but education is hard. Nobody is doubting that. And I think senior year, I'm ready to not take my foot off the gas, obviously, but continue to push myself to make it to my end goal and then see what I can do after that, because graduation is only one step into a future plan, and I am super ready to take that first step.
A whole new world. And we
Absolutely.
talked about that portrait of a Hampton graduate and making certain we prepare you all for college, career, and life as a whole. And it sounds like the experiences you are getting thus far, I think, provide some relevancy to what you're doing and meaning to what you're doing, as well as connectivity. So taking it to the next level after you leave high school, we're looking forward to all the great things we're going to hear about and know that you're going to accomplish. I know Sophia will have you for one more year, but Jonathan is well on his way. He has a few months left, and I know the countdown is on. It'll sort of kind of be bittersweet too. So Jonathan, looking back over the years, you hit on some of this, but just give you a chance if you want to add something else. Looking back over the past 3 high school years, what have you really enjoyed and any future plans connected with that?
Right. I think the enjoyment that I really got the most, being a student ambassador at my school, I've gotten the chance to meet a lot of great people, a lot of impactful people that, like, you realize you're taking them around the place that you walk around every day and seeing their faces and seeing how much you really help, like I said, not only people while you're in the moment, but you're helping students that you may not even ever meet to get the experiences that I've been blessed to get since 9th grade. So I think that's been my favorite thing, just everything that comes with being a student ambassador. And then any future plans, man, like I said, college is the big one. Just going off to college and making the best of my 4 years there. After that, like I said, just opening my own media company. Wanting to work with other media companies too. I'm a big sports fan, love sports. So I think my big goal before I start my own company is working with personally an NBA team. I'd love to work with an NBA team. So working in that media side, and then just being the best Jonathan I could be, being the best leader that I can be, not having people or myself get so caught up in, the job aspect to the point where I forget that at the end of the day, I'm a God-appointed leader. So just helping people lead and being the best leader that I can be and helping people get to the places that they can be to be the best them and be the best self that I can be.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Are you a student ambassador too?
I am.
So that student ambassador also gives you exposure. There were folks who were thoroughly impressed with you in serving as a student ambassador and inquired about your interest in perhaps being a student rep to the board based on how the two of you presented yourselves. So I think folks were seeking you all out before you even realized it. So the opportunities that you have to showcase your talents as an individual and your academic prowess as well, that does not go unnoticed. I want you all to continue to do the great things that you're doing as well. So what advice would each of you give or have for our 8th grade students who will be freshmen next year so they will have a positive high school experience? I'll start with you, Sophia.
I obviously had I had a very different 8th grade experience compared to everyone else because a lot of these 8th graders are coming from Hampton City schools and I was at a private school. But I would definitely recommend go to the school where your academy that you're really looking at is going to be, because a lot of rising 9th graders make the mistake of like, oh, I'm going to go to my zone school and then I'll just pick an academy later on. And then they get attached to everyone there and they don't always go to the academy that they want to go to. Whereas myself, I knew that Kecoughtan was going to be the place for me. I wanted to do performing arts. As much as culinary was really calling me at Phoebus, I knew that performing arts was going to be my number one no matter what. And so even though I'm zoned for Hampton, I made the decision to go to Kecoughtan, and that's how I created my friend group there and created a community there. So not only was I getting my best education, but I'm making the best community for myself, because a lot of 9th graders, after they pick their academy, they have to uproot themselves and start over versus picking where they want to go from the jump.
But also, like you mentioned, you'll get there and then you get a group of friends and you say, well, I'll just stay here because this is where all my friends are, versus focusing on getting a jump start on a particular area or interest that you might have that will better serve you even after high school, because you're able to see this is something that I really want to pursue after high school, or this is something I don't want to do. So
Absolutely.
You want to make certain you take full advantage of that. But that's great advice as well. So you said Hospitality and Tourism Academy is one of the ones that it sort of kind of sparked your interest. What particular area of that were you most interested in, or are you most interested in?
For hospitality, I was really leaning towards culinary. You can ask anyone who knows me. When I'm in the kitchen, I am in the kitchen. I'm baking, I'm cooking, I'm doing it all just to like...
Is it any good?
Yes, absolutely. My cookies are killer. But
what type of cookies?
Chocolate chips.
Chocolate
straight
chips. So
up. Absolutely.
It's homemade, or are you just taking them frozen from what was already prepackaged?
Homemade. Only way to go.
So you're using the flour and the eggs?
Absolutely.
Any other specialties?
Seeing you ask me and it all just left my brain.
But you like doing it.
Yes. If
Probably
I have the chance to
relaxing.
open a cookbook and like just whip something up, I will absolutely do
Desserts
it.
or all of it?
Mainly desserts, because I have a very bad sweet tooth.
So during the holidays, you were
I am
baking
making
desserts
in
and
my annual cheesecake at the holidays.
cheesecake?
Yes.
Just regular cheesecake, or is it
I try to
blueberry
make a different
cheesecake?
one every year.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Sounds good. There's something you still can do as well. Seems like you're the type that can do multiple things, both of you. So I imagine that you all will delve into many things and many opportunities as they present to you. So what advice would you give to 8th graders as they prepare to be freshmen at the high school to ensure they have a positive experience as well, John?
For me, I'm going to say self-reflect, frequently self-reflect. A lot of people talk about staying true to yourself. I'm a person that believes, and I have a saying, this is, the truth can always change. So when people tell you stay true to yourself, you might not always be that same person, and you might start to realize that things are going to be different for you. You go through different things, and you go through different phases, and you realize, hey, maybe the person that I am right now isn't who I should be. I might have to evolve, and I might have to step away from people that I might have been originally with. I might have to be alone for a couple months or a couple days or even a couple years, but always self-reflect and always realize what season you're in, because once you start to realize where you are, you start to be able to adapt to where you are, but also realize that good, bad, it's gonna move on. If you're going through something and you're thinking, hey, I don't know how to get out of this, realize that it's just a season. And
this too shall pass.
Exactly, and this too shall pass. There's so much for you. Use your 4 years to your advantage. Like, self-reflect, realize where are you right now, and evolve. Always evolve, because the you today isn't the you tomorrow, and the you tomorrow can be so, so great.
Wow. You two make it very easy for me to talk. And typically, these podcasts don't last as long as these, but I have enjoyed talking to the two of you. Very insightful. Makes me proud to be superintendent to produce such outstanding portraits of Hampton graduates as well. I can't say enough about the evolution that has taken place, just witnessing this, just based on how you're talking about from whence you came as freshmen, and you're now a junior, Sophia, and Jonathan, a senior, and all the academy model has done to further prepare you for your particular interests in the next phases in your life as well. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. To the listening audience, anything else you want to share with them before we close out?
Be great, guys. Be great.
Absolutely.
Jonathan, you spoke to self-reflection. It speaks to what we talk about in terms of the characteristics of a Hampton graduate when we talk about that positive sense of self and purpose. And it sounds like you are the poster child for that. And we want to make certain that all young people and all people do a whole lot of self-reflecting and making certain that they maintain a positive sense of self and purpose. But thank you once again, Sophia and Jonathan, for taking the time from your day-to-day to sit down with your superintendent. I wish you both a great rest of the school year in the home where everyday greatness is the expectation and the home of academic excellence. Jonathan, I'm looking forward to seeing you cross the stage in June as well. And to our listeners, remember, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. As one community, one transformation, we will ensure academic excellence for every child, every day, whatever it takes. See you next week.
Listen to learn more about Hampton City Schools. New episodes of HCS Talks drop on Thursdays. Subscribe and listen to HCS Talks. HCS Talks is a Hampton City Schools production.